What's the first thing you noticed when you came into the church that's different? Exactly. Jesus. This is Christ, and this is Mary, that's right. So you always have at least those, because Jesus is God who became human. As it were, Christ came from heaven, came to earth, and joined heaven and earth together. So he's really important. He's God become man. And then Mary is the person through whom he became man. So they're the really basic. But you notice other ones as well. You have an angel here. So an angel, the word angel in Greek means messenger. So angels fly, as it were, between heaven and earth. And along here, you've got scenes in the life of Christ. So here you've got his birth, then his baptism, here he's crucified, here he was resurrected. This is called his transfiguration, he's shone with light. And this is Pentecost, where the Holy Spirit came down. So this is Christ's life on earth, where he's teaching us how to live. So you can see the whole screen is a way of bringing together God and us together. But I painted this here a few years ago. This is Christ in glory, surrounded by all the angels. And you see the 4 funny creatures there. A man called Ezekiel had a vision of heaven, and he saw these 4 funny creatures, and they represent the 4 people who wrote the Gospels: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. But that's to show us that Jesus is in heaven now, but he didn't remain there. He came down and dwelt among us. So it's a sort of theme of bringing things together, male and female, God and man. The other wonderful thing is that God also loves matter, loves stuff. So these icons are painted, wouldn't believe it, out of egg and dust. Sounds weird, doesn't it? But they're made out of wood, so I prepare the wood and then put a very special white plaster on, then put the gold on. The paint is made out of egg yolk, mixed with ground up stone sometimes. The blue is probably azurite, that's what I use most of the time. But most of the other colours are earth, red ochre, yellow ochre. So it's like you're taking the stuff that we walk on, we don't think about, then you raise it up to make it something hopefully beautiful. So as a painter, I'm a bit like when you're writing an essay, or you take words out of a dictionary, and you put them together and you make something more beautiful. So painting an icon is a bit like worshipping God not with words, but with colour, with dust, with humble things. You can't say it very well, but this is the nativity icon, talking about animals. Very often in the nativity icon, where Christ becomes man, you've got 3 levels. At the top you have the heavenly level, you've got angels. At the bottom you've got the human level. So you have Jesus being washed here. In other words, he's a body being washed, he's not a spirit. Then in the middle you've got the shepherds, the 3 magi, and the ox and the ass. So what I love about that icon, it shows that Christ didn't come just to save us humans, but he came to gather the whole of creation together. So you've got sheep, you've got trees, you've got mountains, you've got the ox and the ass, you've got the wealthy, learned magi. They come and meet the shepherds, who are poor and unlearned, but they come together. So Christ didn't come just to save us as little individuals and make us happy. He came to gather the whole of creation together. And of course in our period with ecology, because we don't love God anymore as we ought to, nature is telling us, look, something's wrong. So the whole ecological crisis is a result of us not loving God. When you don't love God, you try to fill that void by, getting bigger houses, or travelling more, or rushing around. All that puts a lot of stress on the earth. So the nativity icon shows us that God has come to teach us how to treat the whole world, not just one another. And I love the fact that the closest, apart from Mary, the closest to Jesus is the ox and the ass. And that comes from a prophecy in Isaiah that says, "My people do not recognise who I am, but the ox and the ass do." And now they're warming baby Jesus up, they're breathing on him to warm him up. It's brilliant. And often in the icon, Jesus is right in the centre, and if you draw a circle around him, you have the sheep, trees, rocks, all in a circle. So even though he's just a little baby as a human, he's at the same time God who created and sustains the universe. Isn't that amazing? And when he's been crucified, he's actually keeping alive the people who are nailing him to the cross. So if you come to an Orthodox service, you'll notice that you don't just hear things, we don't just talk to God, but God comes to us through things we can see. We have a censer with lovely smelling incense on, so we can smell God, as it were. We take communion, we take the bread and the wine, body and blood of Christ, so we're tasting God. And when we come in, we kiss the icons. We're not worshipping a picture, but we're saying we love you, Jesus. So we kiss the icons. We're using touch as well. So all our senses are involved in worship, and that's really important. It strikes me that we live in a rather materialistic age where things matter is important, but we are taught to think that if we have lots of things, a new car, a bigger house, better clothes, we'll be happy. But of course it doesn't make us happy. On the other hand, God did make things. God did make trees and stones and physical things. So in the Orthodox Church, we believe that all this physical stuff is an important way of expressing our love for God and for God coming to us.